Okay guys, so here is part 3 of the 6.2 day 1 notes. We are continuing to add and subtract radicals. Okay, so the next one we have square root of 7 plus square root of 49 plus square root of 63. So we have 3 terms this time. Okay, let's look at the first one, square root of 7. Is 7, first of all, a perfect square? No. What's the largest perfect square that goes into 7? 1. But that's not going to help us at all. So really, we just keep that as square root of 7. Okay, what about square root of 49? Is that a perfect square? Yes, it is. So we have square root of 7 plus, and square root of 49 is just going to be 7. Now, what about 63? Is that a perfect square? No. What is the largest perfect square that goes into it? It is going to be 9. So we have square root of 9 times square root of 7. I do need to simplify that. So square root of 9 gives me a plus 3. Notice I'm still using the same signs they give to us. So I have 3 square root of 7. Okay. Now notice with the square root of 7 in front, that coefficient is 1. Remember, if you don't see a number and you're multiplying or dividing, it is assumed 1. Okay? So these two we are going to combine because they are like terms. So I'm going to do 3 plus 1. That gives me 4. And then I have square root of 7. And then the 7 that I have, I can't combine that with anything. So I just leave it as a plus 7. Okay. Now, when you're writing this, it doesn't really matter the order. So you could have this 4 square root of 7 plus 7 as your final answer, or you could have written as this 7 plus 4 square root of 7, and that could have been your answer as well. Now, in your homework assignment, there is going to be a certain way to write it, so you will have to make sure you just follow what the lines. So you might see for like the homework assignment, this plus this square root of this. So just know if you see something like this in your homework, what you would do is you would plug in 7 first, then the 4, and then the 7 again, okay? So just be careful, especially with the homework assignment, the order, because that order will matter. But like if you were doing a test or quiz where you just wrote out the answer, the order really wouldn't matter. Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the next one. Now we're getting into our cubes. So a lot of these we already just went with square roots, but now let's do a cube root. So we have the cube root of 16 plus cube root of 56. Now we have to think of perfect cubes. So remember, we wrote down all those perfect cubes, 1, 8, 27, 64, 125, okay? So make sure you either have those written down or you know them. Okay, looking at 16, 16 is not a perfect cube, but the largest perfect cube that does go into it is 8. So notice I have to do cube root of 8 times cube root of 2. So be careful when you're writing this. So the cube root of 8 is 2, and then I keep cube root of 2 because 2 is not a perfect cube. Okay, 56. That's going to be the same. The largest perfect cube that goes into it is also 8. Okay, so we have cube root of 8 and times cube root of 7. Cube root of 8 is 2, and then 7 is not a perfect cube, and there's no perfect cube that goes into it other than 1. So we have 2 cube root of 7. Now we look here. Can we combine this? No, because notice here, though we both have cube roots, the number underneath the cube roots are not the same. So these are not like terms. So you cannot combine. So that means our final answer here is just going to be 2 cube root of 2 plus 2 cube root of 7. Okay. So as I said in our homework assignment, order might matter, but if we see something like this, order actually would not matter. So you will see like the dash. So you would have seen this, and then like a cube root dash plus dash cube root dash. Okay. So no need to worry about plugging in the square or cube roots. I've already done that for you. You are just plugging in the numbers. So for this one, you could write your answer as 2, and then 2 here, 2 and 7. Or you could have your answer as this in the Schoology assignment. You could have 2, this should be a dash, dash. There we go. 7 2, 2. Okay, so either of those actually work, just because when you plug it in, the order really doesn't matter. So you guys really just have to make sure you watch out on how the dashes are going and where the values are at in your final answer. Okay, let's go ahead, let's do the last problem. We're doing 2 plus the square root of 7 plus 3 minus 4 square root of 7 all over 15. Now, this is dealing with fractions. Remember, we can actually add fractions when they have a common denominator. Well, both of them have a common denominator of 15. So we can add the numerators, okay? So we only add the numerators. Now, my 2 and my 3, I'm going to combine because they are like terms. So I do 2 plus 3. That gives me 5. And then, with that square root of 7, because it has the same radical and same number, there's going to be a 1 here in front of the square root of 7, and then I subtract it with a 4. So 1 minus 4 gives me negative 3 square root of 7. And then in the bottom, I keep the 15. Okay? Now, from here, we do need to figure out if we can simplify any more. Right? Well, here, basically, we want to see if there's a number that goes into 5, 3, and 15 all together. Really, there isn't other than 1. So this would just be your final answer here. Okay? Okay, make sure you guys work on the homework assignment, and if you have any questions, make sure to contact me. I'll see you guys later.